Women who genuinely want to find a partner, but also loathe dating. How do you handle it? I'm single. Genuinely laughed at this. Waiting patiently and daydreaming one day he will find me with echolocation out of blue. I think that's the stage I'm at. Haha. I try not to look at it as dating. At least in the first stages of meeting someone. I prefer to think of it as exploring a different dimension of a relationship with a friend. It's easier to think of it as this is a friend that I'm trying new things out with, rather than this as a romantic partner and I need to be perfect/ideal. That and I just think about from their perspective. They probably hate dating just as much as I do. So we'll make it through the first stages together. This is what worked for me. Friends first. Decided to try going on a date. Ended up being my person for life. I tried to see it as, I'm just going to keep being my usual self. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. The lens of dating caused me to put so much pressure on myself. I hated it. Friends doing a test run was so much better for me. Were you able to stay friends if it didn't work out? Maladaptive daydreaming. I have this amazing subconscious ability to only fall for people who are in some way unavailable, or there's some external circumstance that makes daydreaming the only viable option. I've been trying to work on it for years. You should read the book He's Scared. She's Scared by Stephen Carter and Julia Sokol. This was me. I decided that finding a long-term partner was important for me and the future I wanted to have. I treated it like any activity that would benefit my life, such as working out, studying, going to work. I kept my standards unabashedly high, no matter the flack you get from crappy men on dating apps, and only spent time on the ones that I felt were actually worth it. I went on very few second dates. That was a high bar to get over, and I gave the men who were worth it the energy they deserved. Did you feel anxiety going on dates? And if so, how did you deal with it? I'm not generally an overly anxious person, but for some reason going on dates fills me with stomach churning nervous energy for hours beforehand. I definitely used to get this way, and it's 10,000% normal. What helps me is knowing that the other person is probably just as nervous. Haha. I find if I even joke about it, it usually makes a good icebreaker. Fictional men edit, written by women. George Glass goes to a different school. You don't know him. George Glass. Oh Jan. Honestly, I'm just always lonely. Online dating doesn't click for me. It feels like shopping online for a human, and I can't generate enough of my interest in a 2D man who is always hiking in pictures. Why do they all hike? To keep at conversations. It takes a specific type of chemistry to truly catch my romantic interest, and it doesn't happen often for me. When I find a potential guy online, the convo usually dies out because they expect me to carry the entire burden of keeping the conversation going, which is a red flag for me. How about asking me a question? I also had problems with toxic nice guys / sexual harassment / stalking from high school through my late 20s, so I'm already pretty guarded, and now that I'm older and a little heavier I don't get any attention. Just kinda feel stuck, and it makes me sad because I don't see it changing unless something drastic changes. I do need to get a new hobby since getting injured and retiring from a very intense / time consuming passion project. So maybe that's where I'll gain traction. I don't know yet what the next hobby is, and who knows how long that type of journey will take. We'll see. People usually suggest lame platitudes to me. It'll happen when you're not looking. Just put yourself out there. You gotta kiss a lot of frogs. Someday it will just happen. A lot more people settle than you think. The grass isn't always greener, etc. But that stuff only delays the loneliness for a short while. I've been hearing that stuff for as long as I can remember, and it gets old. It's an odd contrast to my life overall. I have a great job, own my own home. My various friends circles are rich with fantastic lovely humans, and I've had amazing experiences and accomplishments in my life. I know I'm a special and worthwhile person, and I know I have so much love to give. All I'm missing is partnership. Everyone in my life is partnered or in a situationship and just doesn't understand the profound loneliness that comes from decades of being single. At the end of the day, they all go back to their lives and partners. Truly, I love my independence, and I'm okay with being single. I don't need to be in a relationship to feel fulfilled or validated, but that doesn't mean I don't want to find a person, my person, and be that for someone else. A true partnership. Someone that has your back and loves you for you. True human connection would be nice. Never had that before, and I always feel like it's so close. That person is out there, but just can't grasp it. So I just soldier on, one foot in front of the other, plan to grow old by myself, and try as best I can to be financially ready for that. If love happens, fantastic. In the meantime, plan for never. I have to take very calculated breaks. As soon as I start to feel burnt out, I delete apps and step away. I'm currently on a break after being ghosted because I feel emotionally exhausted from the whole ordeal. From earlier ghostings this year and having just a rest time on the apps recently. As soon as I feel a bit more optimistic about it, I will try again. I'll happily be picky about who I meet up with and who I go on a second date with or more, and hopefully something will work out. Cats. The crazy cat lady life starts earlier these days. I don't date LMAO. Like, yes, I want a partner, but I'm mostly motivated to date if it's a specific person. I just wait around until someone seems my type, and then I'm stubborn about getting over the crush for a long time. I'm pretty confident the guy I have a crush on checks a lot of the boxes, but I'm in a phase right now where I want to try to just confirm it and enjoy our friendship. This sounds like me. I've tried online dating, and it was just awful. The only way I can be interested in someone is if I get to know him outside the context of dating, and then it either clicks or it doesn't. I rarely have those clicks, though. Something usually happens to make me lose interest, romantically, at least. But I still enjoy the friendship. Unfortunately, none of these have worked out so far, but maybe it will someday. The last person I was interested in ended up having a job where he has no spare time whatsoever and travels a lot. I think there might have been mutual interest, but I lost interest when we went months without seeing each other. I'm the same. I can only catch feelings for people if it's not initially framed up as dating. It's very annoying. By hoping that somewhere down the line I meet someone the old-fashioned way, in person. I don't. Met my ex through a video game when I wasn't even looking for love / gave up on being in a relationship. He dumped me not so long ago, so back to my fingers I go lol. Are you me? Well, technically my name is in a username lol. Well then, we are now one with each other lol. I eat lots and lots of chocolate. My parents met by surprise when my mum had sworn off men, so that sort of gives me hope that the universe might repeat itself. Many old lonely ladies with cats hope that too. The only reason I started dating was because I found myself getting annoyed with how badly I wanted a partner, but doing nothing to meet new people. To help combat how much I hated it, I treated dating apps like a fun side quest while staying safe OFC, and also tried to get more involved in different clubs, groups, etc. So I tell myself, hey, you seem really annoyed with being single right now. If you can find the fun in dating, be picky and do that instead of sit and complain about having no options, etc. In the 4 years since doing this, I've gone on a lot of first and second dates, and even dated someone for almost 2 years. I learned a lot and still despise dating, but it's made me a lot more certain of what I'm looking for and confident when someone does approach me. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with not actively looking and just building a life you're super proud of, cause the people best suited to you will find you when you're just living your best life. And taking frequent breaks from dating are also 100% normal and encouraged TBH. I took many while I was at my peak. Not really handling it because I'm living an amazing life without a partner. I also don't feel like I'm lacking in my life as well. If it comes, great, thanks. If it doesn't, that's cool, no problem. I just don't want to stress on things I can't control anymore. Online dating was so soul crushing. Honestly, I started focusing on myself. I have a FWB that scratches the sexual itch, which has helped immensely. For now I'm just focusing on myself. In this time I have started freelance writing and even started doing art modeling. I'm just going to try and live my best life, and maybe I might meet someone along the way. I don't date and take the loss. Yup. After years of terrible relationships, I completely gave up on men and I absolutely refuse to go on dates anymore. I haven't been on dating apps in years and I'll never use that crap again. If I end up meeting someone, it's gonna be at Costco cause I have no social life and never leave my home. LMAO. Try to find hobbies where I meet other people and hope for the best. Maybe not the best plan, but I'm happy on my own. I've totally given up on the online dating thing. It made me feel horrible every time. So many men that just stick their tongue in your mouth with no warning. It made me feel gross and used because I'm the kind of person who doesn't have any desire to do anything physical unless there's an emotional connection. Even times that the men were respectful, it still made me miserable. So, being single and not feeling horrible while online dating is preferable. Reminding myself that the peace that I found in my journey to know myself is worth it. I don't feel like I'm missing out by not having a partner, and I don't put my life on pause hoping that someone will come along. I'm open to meeting someone, but won't settle for low effort, which usually means we don't even make it to the first date. If I have one requirement for a date, it's that their text conversation is decent, because it's been my experience that someone that's boring over text is insufferable in person. I'm honestly taking it very seriously. It's so important for me to find a partner and have a family someday. I'm quite happy on my own, but damn I long for someone, especially since I've been single for 7 years. So what am I doing to get there? I'm moving from my small town to a big city. I don't want to be 50 and still single because I stayed here. I can't keep doing the same thing and accept different results. It will be so much easier and more fun for me dating in a city. I truly believe that location is really important. Also take breaks if you feel like it. For me, I looked at dating like it was split into 2 groups. People who wanted to go out and have fun. People who were looking for their people and then TFO there. I was group B, and I always imagined myself to be in group B too. He was much easier to spot and I just cut straight to the point. We are now married loners who visit the same mall plaza every week and have the smallest social circle and live an introvert heaven-like life. I swear it's possible. I hate dating. When I was single, I decided I was going to focus on me and my hobbies, and of course, just when you don't want one comes along and takes over your life. Lol, typical. I was just talking to my therapist about this, how I used to lose myself in my relationships. Stop doing all the things that I loved to do because of a relationship. My current and I decided from the first month that we'd help each other keep that in check because we fell in love with who we were when we met. Sure, we are gonna grow and evolve, but it's important to us to do as individuals and as a couple. I love my hobbies and it feels so good that I'm still very much involved even in a relationship. Distraction, denial, daydreaming. I honestly stopped looking and I'll let fate do its thing. I met my partner 3 years ago at a New Year's office party and we've welcomed our baby girl 3 weeks ago. Sometimes you just need to stop looking and let the universe do its thing. When we started dating, I was very clear about what my goals were and still are, and what I wanted to achieve personally, professionally, emotionally, and I simply asked him if he was in or out. So much yes. This is where I'm at now, letting my destiny control the tides. Until then, I will continue working on myself and path, becoming the best version of myself, and fully committed to the fact that I will cross paths with the right one when it is meant to be, regardless if it takes a few years. Just meet the right man. After 11 years of being single, the right man was just there. We never dated, it was right from the start. And I know this 1 in a billion. I've dated a lot in those 11 years, but it was always a pain. Or I didn't like them, or they didn't like me. Gave up on dating. Enjoyed my amazing life and this happened. This is someone I have known vaguely and we met in a different setting and we were right from the start. Been together now for 2 years and never been a day apart. Happy to read this. Still single. I used to get anxious and feel a lot of pressure. Pressure to like people because they like me. Pressure to sleep with the other person. Just constant pressure. When it started feeling like a drag, I'd quit the apps and take a break. Ultimately I just started treating it like maybe making friends. Like maybe this will fun. Maybe it won't. If it's not fun I don't have to see them again. I don't know if I was jaded or realistic, but I just didn't expect anything to work out. But I probably had a sliver of hope there. When I met my husband I had zero expectations and I just liked him. It moved fairly fast, but it took me a while to truly believe things would work out, but now over a decade later we are very content. Sleep over forever with your best friend. I've deleted dating apps because it's just not for me. If I meet someone on a dating app, it just feels forced. I'm not very pretty, and I feel like I might be too weird for a lot of people, so I don't get it on often. Moved to a new city, so I have very few friends yet. I might just give up on finding someone and do casual NSA for a while lol. I definitely feel that. I'm the opposite of photogenic, and I've even used a professional photographer. It takes a very thick mask of makeup for me to be attractive, and it feels so disingenuous that it's literally soul crushing to me to do it. So I'm just not going to do it. I also travel for work, which while I meet lots of new people, but find it very difficult to make an actual friend. It is what it is. Plenty of solo hobbies and dogs or cats that need help to keep me busy enough. I've already accepted that I will die alone. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt though. Any form of pleasurable form of escapism really. Porn. My hobbies. Sleep. Etc. I try not to think about it too much. Live through my friends. They know I do this. I've told them. I know it isn't healthy, but it's not an obsession of mine. I don't have a car, and they leave their house. Close bracket. May I ask why you expect to die alone? Is it perhaps your age? Some people find the right person at a later age, but accepting one might end up alone is okay as well. After all, we did come into this world alone. I'm happy on my own, but it would be nice if one of you are so beautiful. I can't believe your single comments from attractive men who are usually my type could turn into them asking me out for once. I kind of know what you mean. I get the best compliments on my looks from gay men and straight women. It's super flattering, but then it's like, okay, why can't I get these same words from Q women or straight/B men?